And here we are, guys. Game number 1 between Viper and Slam. The rematch, the showdown after yesterday's best of 7. We're going to have another 3 games between these guys. And first map is going to be Valley. And would you believe it, Major Quaros? Of all the civilizations in the game, it's an Indian mirror, which is completely random for those of you in the chat who might not know that.
Oh, really? It's random.
It's
okay.
random mirror for game number 1. So we've been blessed once again with the wonderful Indians. To be honest, though, I actually think Indian Civ Wars are a little interesting because, like, they counter each other so well as well. Like, it's I think Indian Civ Wars are really fun. But map gonna be Valley. And this is one of those valleys that doesn't seem to have all the excess deer around the base. It seems to be the valley that has all of the deer in the center, which could be worth fighting for, but it's not Vital River. And there's a big difference between Vital River and Valley. And Vital River is the version of Valley which has no boar. And Valley is the version of Valley that has the boar. So there's going to be plenty of resources available, basically, at the start of the game, that the deer in the center are not necessarily that important.
No, yeah. I mean, I can imagine that if you don't start with the boar, then the extra deer in the middle is really going to help. But if you do already start with the boar and the berries as well, then you're totally fine. Nonetheless, it can give you a nice food bonus, though. So maybe we'll see some contesting there for the middle, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, it can be worth fighting for, absolutely. And the only downside is that it's so open out here in the center of the map. There's like not really any tree cover. But if players wanted to go for like a drush and start taking the deer on the front, then if they can continue to lock it down and keep control of the map, then that's really going to be strong. So it's certainly something to keep in mind anyway, at the very least. But with it being a Civ War, you know, the Indians have one of the most diverse tech trees in the game. They're really able to do a hell of a lot. Bringing up the tech tree on the screen for you guys there. You know, we can see so many options open to them in this one. Obviously, they don't get the Nightline, but in a mirror war, it doesn't matter that much. They can go into the camels, which are just so ridiculously strong, really. The Indian camel is insane.
Yeah, I mean, what can't you do with the Indians, except for indeed the Nightline? There's all the way from feudal to imperial. The tech tree is just so open.
Exactly, and it makes them such a good counter civ. And then when they get to the Imperial Age, they're an absolute powerhouse as well. Obviously, going into this series, we've got to tip Viper as the favorite. He did. I mean, I don't know if I should spoiler the results from yesterday's best of 7, so I'm not going to say it.
Right.
But he is obviously going to be the favorite going into this, however you slice it, regardless of yesterday's results. So Slam going to have his work cut out for him. But, you know, I think Slam does favor the more open style maps. Yesterday, he did choose to play Serengeti, for example, which is like the most open map in the game right now, as far as I know anyway. And, or standard open map, I should say. But I think he like favors that. And this is one of those maps which can be very open, but it's also not impossible to wall if you want to. Because, like, look at Slam's wall already. He's already kind of closed off the front of his base.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely helps to get a little bit of defensive walls. You don't necessarily have to close everything. And yeah, looking at Slam's map, his left side is just pretty closed. He can easily get a few houses or a few palisades. And then his golden stone right there is, you know, really nice and protected. And yeah, his right side is a little bit more open, or at least he would have to go really far out to wall that. But yeah, so far, pretty good map for Slam, I would say.
Yeah, the only downside really is the goal. I mean, it's on the back, sure, but he's going to have to, like, wall really weirdly to get that. He might have to wall across the trees at the front, and that's huge walling and can get really difficult to keep control of it all. But this is going to be an important part of the map for him later on at the back section. He'll probably want to build a TC out here to lock that down later. But right now, the barracks is coming up, 6 minutes 30 for Slam, and the barracks up for Viper as well. And it looks like both players mirror civs, mirror strats at this point in time, mirror everything. Look at this, like the overlay, the 21 pop, 21 vills, 1 army. Like, it doesn't get much closer than that at this point in time. And quite rightly, I mean, it's two of the best players in the world. They're not going to make mistakes this early in the game.
Definitely not. And Viper going out forward with his scout, and he did catch that villager taking the gold, so he knows what is up. Whereas Slam is still going around. He didn't spot the gold yet, and he also didn't spot the barracks yet. So he's in the dark a little longer.
Yeah, he'll see the barracks in a sec, and I think Slam will probably realize that Viper is drushing at net. Well, he'll see it now anyway, because he'll spot the militia through the fog there. But also the fact that he's making militia, and Viper's score is also staying very similar, which is actually quite a good tell, even, that your opponent is probably also drushing, since the added score from the militia in the Dark Age this early gives it away a little bit also. But Slam might catch out a little bit of damage on Viper's scout, never mind, he will duke it out. And it looks like we're just going to see a fight on level ground in the center of the map, as both players kind of get close together, and Viper's going to scout Slam. Slam's scout's a bit far away, and this fight now is going to really come down to the micro, or is it? Exactly. Is Slam just going to come down towards the mill?
Oh, that will be a pretty nice catch, but there are a lot of villagers for the Viper to defend with, so yeah, Slam can't really take that fight yet. In the meantime, Slam is up to feudal age, just like the Viper, so yeah, still really close game.
Slam going up a little bit faster though, 22 Vils versus Viper's 24, but here's the drush fight.
Yeah,
looks like it's the edge for Slam. Not bad, not bad. He's going to focus on the scout. That's the right thing to do here, I feel. And Slam now going to lose his second militia, so Viper will actually end up coming out on top. It started quite well for Slam, but he's going to finish up losing all of his 3 militia there. Viper still keeping 2 alive and locking down the center of the map. And this is what I said earlier about taking those deer. Viper's now got the map control as Slam's run out of militia, and Viper can safely gather the deer, giving him quite the edge at this point, I would say.
Yeah, true. Although it's still a very open middle and easy to harass. And looking at the way things, yeah, there you go. Indeed, double archery range now coming out for Slam. So he's going to go into archers and see if he can gain some map control for with that. It's an okay decision. Maybe scouts would have worked in this case as well, because they are so mobile. But archers are really nice regardless.
I think the speed from the scouts would have been nice, but he's already done a drush, so it's kind of tough to go straight into scouts when you go up with so few Vils as well. The archers is a good choice. Obviously, it's easily countered as well by a couple of skirms, and the Viper here is adding 2 ranges of his own, quite far forward actually. And once again, I think this is just so that he can continue to take the deer safely and have his military production buildings close by. So in this case, the 2 ranges coming up are going to see, looks like skirms to start with, transitioning into archers as he does move villagers over to gold now. And Slam's playing a much more defensive style, walling up, really kind of turtling behind these buildings and just garrisoning inside of his ranges right now with the archers.
Oh, he's still keeping his possibilities open. If he would go completely defensive, then he would go skirms instead of archers.
That's true.
But yeah, he's getting flashing out as well, so he should be doing pretty fine. Although if the Viper, if he would get just a few more skirmishers, then he shouldn't have a very alpha time to defend. So
he's also kind of walled up a little bit on the left side. He's walled on this sort of center area. He's walled. I think he's going to have plenty of notice if Slam was to come in. He also knows he's going archers now as well, because he's just lost his 2 militia there. And I mean, they're not really going to achieve anything now. They've given him some scouting info, and Viper knows he's made the right decision to go with the skirmishers, which I think, to be honest, is also the better decision here as well, just because of the Indians' playstyle. Viper's going to want to get a faster castle time, start bringing in those cheaper Vils, and he's probably also going to want to play a little, I don't want to say like more defensive, but he's going to want to play the counter units in this game, save his gold, and then go imp if he can and take the advantage there. But great fight already for Viper on the front.
Indeed, this is a bad fight for Slam, man.
Even without fletching, he just absolutely cleans it up.
Yeah, and that is the... I mean, Slam could have used his archers maybe to roam around the map, but instead, he just went straight to the middle, running to the skirmishers. So, yeah, not very great for Slam at all.
Oh no, and he's going to lose another archer on the south. He's got 2 HP left, and I think Slam really wanted to try and like counterattack a little bit here with the archers and try and hit Viper's eco. Viper's having none of it, doing fletching right now after cancelling, we misclicked, he did padded archer first, but yeah, it's nice for Viper because he's grabbing the deer, and that's going to give him quite a bit of extra food boost, or an extra food boost. He's now... is he going to transition into archers now? I mean, it's not uncommon to see him add a few archers in and split his army up and go for a counter. But since Slam's walled up now, Viper can just kind of sit here in front and boom his eco up a little bit and go castle, I feel. No rush in this case to get the archers out.
And Slam getting a stable up, and he's queuing up some scouts. So he wants to still try to move out, as he's also, getting more archers out. So... could be a good fight, could be a bad fight, we'll have to see. If he does win it though, and he can keep his scouts alive, then that is definitely a way better way to move around the map and maybe snipe some fills.
Yeah, I almost feel like Slam could have opened with scouts instead of doing the drush. He could have, because he's not really going for the middle anyway, so he could have tried to wall up a little faster and then gone straight into like fast feudal scouts, which you can do really quickly as the Indians as well. You can do it on 20 pop if you wanted to. So you could do it super fast and maybe get a quick wall off against the drush, maybe a bit more risky, but still going into scouts eventually anyway. And obviously it's a good choice to take down the skirms. That's definitely going to help. And Slam now probably feeling a little bit of pressure to hit Viper's eco a little bit as he comes out forward with these 2 scout cavalry. And Viper's now going to say, you're going for scouts, are you? Let's build a spearman. There you go. 50% on the spearman.
Yeah, but still the scouts do pretty nicely. And with the archers following up, those Viper might have to run those fills.
Maybe.
I mean, yeah, Viper did get a +1 on the skirmishers, so they are still quite tanky.
Yeah, countering the +1 of Slam on the archers as well. So it's pretty decent, this +1 defense for Viper's skirms here, helping against the scouts and the archers. And Slam tried to make the play, but he's going to be forced back once again. And so far, Viper killing 13, losing just 8. And oh no, Slam's going around. Oh, that hurts. That really hurts. He sent his archers like to the south of this wood line, and he's going to lose another 3 because of that mistake. He also lost the scouts. That's 18-8 KD now. And Slam's going to run his army away to the hills because he's got nowhere safe. There's nowhere to hide either. Slam now is like, right, that's it. I'm done. I'm all in. Second stable coming up. Archers coming out, and like he's going to try and just throw everything at this in the feudal age now. He knows that, okay, what else am I going to do?
He kind of has to, because the Viper is now getting really close to clicking up. He almost has the good amount of food. And that is going to be a tough one for Slam. If he indeed is going to commit to feudal fights, well, he's going to stay feudal forever pretty much.
Yeah.
On the other hand, he kind of has to, because he's not going to catch up with Viper anyway. And with the Indians having such a nice reduction in fail cost, they can easily boom and still defend pretty well.
Yeah, I think in this case, Slam is really, he's putting the pressure on himself to do the damage, but he knows he's behind now anyway, just because he's lost so much, so much military that he's got to catch up one way or another, and this is going to be it. Villagers coming forward. Looks like we're going to see perhaps a tower coming through as well. I mean, why not? He's not going to be Castle Age for a long time. Scouts have now got bloodlines. He's not completed +1 defense on the archers. I would think about it, to be honest with you, going into this. But this could be a good fight for Slam.
Right. Yeah, bloodlines is really nice, but yeah, that spear might still be a trouble, or even 2 spears. And yeah, with the archers versus the skirmishers, still not a good fight. And yeah, there you go. Slam just can't really get himself to push out.
Yeah, he's still trying, though. He's still trying. 2 scouts coming out at a time, 2 archers at a time. He should very quickly be able to outnumber Viper's army, but he has to do the damage before Viper gets the upgrades. As soon as Viper gets the elite skirm crossbow, this is going to be too difficult for Slam's feudal army to engage, so he has to bring the army or count from Viper down now before Viper gets those techs. Viper immediately coming up to the hill here, and Slam's going to put the tower on the front. It's not the best tower in the world. It will at least provide some kind of a pushing platform, but Slam's going to go for it right now. He's bringing in the scouts, 5 scouts, a good number of archers, and he's got to kill this army quickly. He's got to do it quickly.
Well, can he deal with the spears though? That is really the problem here. He really needs to snipe those. Yeah, crossbowman, Potkin arrow coming out. Oh, this is gonna be such...
That's it for Slam. I mean,
yeah,
that's it for Slam.
Scouts out, and that's it. Yeah, he doesn't have any army now. And besides, those towers weren't gonna do much anyway, as the Viper is now up to castle, can easily get some siege out.
That's it. GG. I mean, he tried. He really tried. But Viper's sitting on the hill. And I don't know how many spears he had mixed in there, but the scouts died way too quickly, and Slam just couldn't do the damage with the archers at the bottom of the hill. The scouts getting taken out by the spears, and going into that fight, Slam had pretty even numbers with the army count as well. And in the end, 39 kills for the Viper, 17 losses. What great trades, and Castle Age to seal the deal. Quick and easy game for the Viper there, I feel. No, I shouldn't say quick and easy, but he made it look easy, I want to say. He never really seemed to be under any pressure in this one. And even with Slam going full feudal in the end, I feel like he'd already lost too many units at that point. He had to play such a big game of catch-up. He just couldn't really quite do it in time.
Yeah, Viper made the right decision of just staying defensive with skirmishers and go from there. Slam going archers, it was a little bit tricky because he did need to do the damage, and yeah, just running into skirmishers isn't really a good way of doing that. So yeah, that's it.
Quick look at the achievements will show us that, you know, Slam actually did gather most resources there. He gathered extra wood, he gathered extra gold, but Viper gathered an extra 1,000 food, and that was enough to get him to the Castle Age. And then all it took was a couple of upgrades, and that was going to spell the end for Slam. But really, it's not about the resources gathered. If you gather twice as many resources as your opponent, but lose twice as many units, well, does it matter in the end? Not really, because your opponent's still going to have more army on the map, and he's going to be able to do the damage. So, well played to Viper. I liked Slam's decision to go full feudal. It's a shame it didn't work out. And with that said, we're going to go into Slam's home map now, which is going to be Arabia. And
oh, my goodness me, man. I'm telling you, Indians are the new Huns.
Well, it's Arabia Mirror once again. And this time, it's not even actually Mirror, because the players chose their civs, hidden, unbeknown to each other. And it's like, yeah, let's just repeat last game. Let's just take the Indians again. So, Slam in the blue, northwest of the map, taking the Indians. Viper, south of the map, taking the Indians as we go into this one. Oh my goodness me. Twice in a row now as game 2 gets underway.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's still fun to watch, right? I was saying it is kind of like the Huns, because the Huns can do a lot of things as well, and I think Indians can do the same early game. So I like to see it. Let's hope again for some good aggression. And besides, this time there is no middle with deer, so maybe Viper also has to be a little bit more aggressive like he was last game.
Exactly, and I don't know. I mean, Slam's home map going to be Arabia. I mean, as I said, he's quite comfortable playing the open maps, the higher fast-paced maps. I think this map, this is going to be a different playstyle from the Indians here. This is going to be the fast feudal into scouts, I imagine, for both players. They're quite far apart, I'd say. I mean, they're not like completely like as far as possible, but I kind of don't think we'll see a drush, but I might be wrong on that. We'll have to wait and see. I just think that on Arabia, the strat's going to be a little bit different. And as you said, without there being all the deer in the middle, it's not as worth going for the early aggression.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, Slam does like his man-at-arms into archers.
That's true as well.
So maybe we see that.
But I think what's interesting is, I was saying with Claviscus earlier, who is also in the chat, I think, see him in there posting occasionally. The Indians aren't that good. Because, well, okay, they're good, but they've been beaten a lot this tournament. We saw earlier on today the Indians being beaten twice in a row, and by different civs as well. And even last week they were losing. I think it's, I want to say, like, going to be the case that later on in the tournament, we will see Indians less. I kind of feel that. But there's no denying that they're an incredibly strong Civ. And obviously the players, it's a tournament game. Every game is worth money. They want to win. And if they feel like the Indians are going to give them the best chance to win, well, they're going to take the Indians, aren't they?
Yeah, indeed. By the way, Klavskis goes by many names, but I never heard Klaviskis before, so that's a new one.
It's because I'm back in the day, like 2 years ago, I used to go in my stream and stuff, and I always read it as Klaviskus. I'm pretty sure I'm not dyslexic, but I'm starting to question that. Like, I really don't know. I just always read it as Klaviskus. I don't know what's wrong with me. But basically, I realized recently it's Klavskis, as I realized it's come, it's come to pass that I've seen that, and I'm like, oh, actually, I've been saying it wrong for like 2 years. But I just call him Klaviskus for nostalgia's sake, you know. It's always Klaviskus to me
as well.
As what? Cyclops?
Klaus. No. Right, let's go focus back on the game. I was taking a look at Slam's map, and it's good, but not great, I would say. I mean, if he wanted to go wall things up, then at least the sides are quite easy to wall off with the wood lines. But his gold is a little bit awkward there, you know, right next to the wood line.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be able to at least get a safe mining camp on it, and, you know, he's got it close to his wood line, so if he does wall this up, this whole area is safe, but he can't saturate it fully, and that's not going to be a problem until, like, the Castle Age. But after that main gold is saturated on this side, where's he going to go next? The other gold is way out front, and he's already started to build a house wall here, which is going to block it out. And the other gold is, well, I'm guessing this is his, but it's like closer to Viper, I feel. Like Viper's like, this is my gold now, because I'm the Viper, and the map will always favor me, no matter what happens.
Yeah. So Slam getting the barracks out around 6 minutes 30, so that might be a rush again. Although, yeah, Man-at-Arms build and Drush build are quite similar, and I think you would be already taking gold by now, right? If you go with the Drush.
Yes, you would have already taken 10 by now. I think it would be Man-at-Arms, because he's doing Loom at the same time as Viper, and they're both going up on 21. I mean, it doesn't even have to be Man-at-Arms, actually. He could do Scouts as well, but it would be a little bit early to build the barracks in this case. But then you could argue that, okay, well, he's going to wall anyway, so he may as well just build the barracks, and then he doesn't risk like having the barracks delayed if Viper was to drush him, for example, by doing it early.
It can go either way. I mean, Slam did push or at least one deer in. So yeah, that already helps. Then you don't need the farms necessarily. But yeah, it's usually you go up with 22 for Man-at-Arms build. So yeah, that's why I'm also confused.
I think he's going to go Scouts, to be honest with you. He's split his wood. He's not taking gold. He's probably just going to build a. He's probably just going to build a stable to the right of this stone mine. I think Viper's doing the same. I think that people get thrown off because Slam. I've seen a lot of his games. He'll build the barracks really early, like at 6 minutes 30, which is your standard kind of Drush or Man-at-Arms timing. But I think he does it for maybe a couple of reasons. I mean, maybe you should ask him this, but it's going to first of all secure the fact that you will get your barracks up. Like 100%, because if your opponent was to drush you or something, and your barracks ended up getting delayed, that could really screw you over. And secondly, it could, I guess, throw your opponent off a little bit if they do scout the barracks and think, oh, he might be drushing, he might make Man-at-Arms. I better wall my wood lines and things. But either way, it's going to be a stable for both players, and 21 population for both as well. Again, it's completely neck and neck like last game. Where does it all fall apart though? That's the question.
Well, we'll have to see. Viper and Slam both have really nice micro. As far as I know, Viper getting his spear out already, so he expects the scouts to come as well. But I have to say, Viper's map is a little bit more open. He also didn't take as much effort as Slam yet to wall his map. So if Slam can go around and maybe snipe some fills, who knows? But the Viper already going out now with a villager as well to wall things. So it's going to be a tough one for both players.
I think they're both playing very similar style. Slam's not sending his scouts straight out, waiting a little bit and sending them around the top side. And if we look at Viper's scouting, this says a lot, really. He's not actually scouted Slam at all. He's making scouts right now, but he actually hasn't sent them out. Instead, he's using them defensively to protect his walling villager. And I think, again, similar to the last game, Viper wants to secure the fact that he will get to the castle edge this game without taking any eco damage. And it just makes a lot of sense. He's going to send his scouts out now that the wall is complete. And Slam, on the other hand, he's still, again, keeping his scouts at home, trying to complete the walls. And unfortunately for Slam, he just has a bit more of an open map, and it requires a few more walls to complete it, which is going to cost him a little bit more villager time and a little bit more resources. But ultimately, both players are going to wall each other out, and we might end up seeing both players transition to the castle age without even seeing any eco harassment at all.
Yeah, although Slam is, I have to say, making pretty big walls here, and he's also missing a little bit. So the question is he gonna scout that or not?
Oh, here, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but that's indeed a pretty big wall off. I was thinking myself, maybe go from the wood line to the side of the map and then linking the two wood lines together. But yeah.
Sure, and obviously the downside to having such a big wall off is that you can't necessarily secure it the whole time. If Viper ends up winning the scouts in the middle, he could come in with 2 or 3 scouts, or even just 1 scout, and just attack the wall. And that will force Slam to send a villager over there and have to re-wall behind it. Just kind of make it a little harder to defend. But what's interesting is that 5 scouts for Slam, Viper's just done the 3. And I think that's because, 1, Viper knows he's walled up, and 2, the aggression from Slam hasn't come out that quickly. You know, Slam didn't attack him at his own base yet at this point in time. So he's like, yeah, well, why do I need to make more scouts? I just build farms and go castle. It's just the typical Viper things. I think Viper puts a lot of emphasis and value on getting to the castle age, and that's why you see Viper very rarely going for all-in feudal aggression and forward attacks, because of the power spike you get in the castle age being so good.
And that is definitely a good thing for Viper at the moment. Slam is investing so much now, even getting bloodlines, so he's going full scout build. But Viper is completely walled, so he will not do any damage with it. Yeah, and then he will be up to castle age later, and that's going to be a problem.
Oh yeah, he's going to be a lot later. I mean, he's got 7 scouts right now, which means he's made 6 scouts. And he's walled as well. He's going to close that gap at the back that you mentioned earlier. But investing into bloodlines as well. I mean, okay, he can at least pressure the walls. He can maybe force Viper to falter. Maybe he can make a hole. And if he does, that's going to be huge for Slam. But I don't think Viper's going to let that slip. And I think Viper's going to be paying a lot of attention to these walls and making sure that, you know, he builds houses or whatever he needs behind them. Slam, though, can do a lot of damage with these scouts, and he's got bloodlines as well, so the spear isn't a problem. He could turn his attention to the stable, for example, and make sure Viper doesn't have a military production building. Bear in mind, there's 7 scouts here, and that stable could go down very quickly with just 1,500 health. But Viper's already clicked up to castle, 10%.
Right. Yeah, so the best Slam can do at the moment is try to force a little bit of idle time from the Viper. But I wonder what the scouting looked like from Slam before he did bloodlines, because he could have decided, like,
he cancelled it. I just checked.
Okay.
I didn't select an individual scout. He actually didn't complete the tech. So it was actually a good move by Slam to cancel it, recognizing the situation there. So it was very nice.
And he's also now he's almost up to castle age as well. So it's not too bad.
Yeah, quick adaptation there, definitely. Viper, though, I mean, he's going to be like 50% of the way up, as 50% in the advantage to the castle age here, and still just sitting back, safe and sound, repairing with 1 villager on the house. It's no big deal. But at least Slam's not going to be too far behind, and at least Slam is walled as well. So, I mean, it's not looking so bad for him at all. Both players taking a lot of gold. We got 7 vills on gold for Viper. We got 6 on gold for Slam. And that kind of says to me that once we get to the castle age, we're probably going to see, I think, from Viper, I think we're going to see a monastery and some monks, perhaps. But at least we're going to see camels from both players. I'm sure of that, as Slam will add a second stable.
Yeah, monks are optional. Going crossbows in an Indian mirror match is still a bit tricky. But I think, yeah, indeed, camels first, for sure.
Yeah, and Slam now doing Bloodlines. The reason he cancelled it before was so that he could get to the Castle Age faster. Now he's clicked the Castle Age upgrade. It's, you know, he can do Bloodlines at his leisure. It's not so important anymore. But actually, yeah, Viper will make the Monastery. So I think that this is a good choice for him with the monks. And also with the TC on the right-hand side coming up, he's not going to neglect his eco either. Third TC at the south. I like this play from Viper. It's going to be more defensive with the monks here, but once he gets a few conversions and starts turning it into his favor, Viper can easily push out as well. So I do like the decision with the monks, absolutely.
Yeah, it depends a bit though. Slam still does have a good amount of scouts out. Viper is on camels. But if Slam can manage to keep those scouts alive and get some camels of his own, then the monks shouldn't be able to do too much anymore.
Well, there's also a monastery from Slam as well, so I mean, it's not going to be like he's completely caught out by the monks of Viper here. He will have his own monks coming out onto the field as well, as Slam will also add his second and third TC. And I really like that about the Indians, the fact that you can get up to 3 TCs and make monks and make camels at the same time. It's just so nice, and I think that's part of the reason why they are just so strong. But with the monastery coming up for both players, it's going to come down to that monk micro. Who has the faster fingers? Who's going to be able to get the trades? Who's going to be able to do a better job? And I think, like you said, with the scouts being in the field for Slam, it's definitely something to consider when it comes to fighting against the monks here.
Yeah, right. That is, I mean, mirroring your opponent is never good, but like, yeah, if Slam can kill some monks, then it will be a different story. But yeah, the camels just make it so difficult. Other than that, it's still a pretty close game. Army count almost the same, population count almost the same.
Yeah, Viper's ahead by just, what, 3 villages? It's not that significant at this stage. And the population is just 1 different. So it's definitely a lot closer than the last game at this point. Let's put it that way. Both players did at least make it to the Castle Age for now. And I think, again, it might even be a case where both players, similar to the Feudal Age, are quite content to just sit back and rely on the monk defense. And neither of them will do that much damage to each other or engage that hard. And they'll just focus on that eco to try and get to that late game, which is where, as we said before many times, the Indians really do just become a powerhouse. So I feel like that could be the case here. In that case, who has the better map?
Yeah, it does look like it, but Viper is picking up 2 relics already now, and Slam did have a scout nearby the relic, but he didn't notice it being snagged. And yeah, that's already a pretty good advantage right there for the Viper.
But Slam will be able to gather 2 relics as well. He's got the one on the left coming in, and the one on the right is also very much in Slam's territory. He has got the scout patrolling on the right side, and I'm guessing that's to protect the relic on the right here. So I think Slam has a good shot at getting 2 relics. Maybe he'll deny this 3rd one, and that won't be taken for a while. But for now, he'll get 1, and I think both players are happy to sit back. And the reason I asked why who's got the better map is because I think the answer to that is Viper. He's just got safer gold on his side. Whereas Slam's going to have to come forward to gather the 2nd gold, as we said earlier on. He's got to come forward to gather his stone as well. And I do like Viper's map a lot more if it comes to this kind of boom strat. And I think Slam's got to be aggressive in the Castle Age here again.
Yeah, he is going forward with monks now and his camels, so he might look at getting or taking a fight. As Viper is, well, I would almost say a little bit out position, but I think he's still camping. Oh wait, no, never mind. The relic is way out there. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, he's kind of on the right side. I know what you mean. And I think he's trying to maybe protect the monks. Yeah, he's going to continue to follow the monks. So he knows that Slam had a lot of scouts. It's worth sending the camels with the monks there. Slam coming forward. But yeah, Viper did do Town Watch. He's going to have the vision here quite far out in front. And I just think he's got the nicer map at the moment. Oh, Slam, though, going to get a free monk here. Definitely worth it. And he's going to come round to the north as well. It looks like Viper wants to grab the relic at the far north and actually stop Slam from getting that. But Slam might be able to get another monk. It's, not going to happen. risks getting converted, but he's going to get away.
But yeah, Slam now really trying to get aggressive, getting his siege workshop on the front, and that is that's really nice to see. The Viper, I would say he still has the map control, so if Slam can get that back with starting to start a push, then that's a good thing for Slam.
Yeah, I agree, but again, Viper's going to grab the relics here. And he's going to successfully get the one in the north for now. Oh, Slam's has he noticed? He's got the scouts. Yeah, he might kill the monk. Meanwhile, he's going to take the fight on the right side.
Ooh, no.
Oh, he's going back with the scouts. What's he doing? All right, well, who's going to win this fight? It's got to be Slam's win here, right? Slam's got the army advantage.
I think he has the numbers.
Why is he going back? Oh, wait, no. Has he got the advantage? I can't tell. Camels just blend together. They're even on the upgrades. So it's actually Viper's win there. And Slam won't deny the relics. So that's important because not only is having the relic advantage going to stack up over time, and we've already said Viper's got the better map as well, so it's another thing on Viper's favor, but the unique technology for the Indians, which can come into play later on, Sultans, all gold income 15% faster. That will affect the relics as well. And that's going to be another additional boost, which they can take in the late game once he has a castle up. So Viper right now, about to go to the Imperial Age. He's got all the resources he needs. He's just completed a university, I think. And he's doing that upgrade now. Meanwhile, Slam's got the Siege Workshop and the Monastery on the front. Slam...
Well, Slam gonna try to snipe the Viper's monk there, but the Viper really nice micro there, dropping the relic. But Slam also has a few monks right there. Can the Viper kill a few monks? That's one conversion.
He's gonna get 3 monks. That's not bad. But Viper's still gonna come out on top. Slam getting taken out by the scouts in the end. And Slam now just doesn't have the army. 9 versus 14. Meanwhile, I can hear Viper's camels coming out all over the place, like as he's queuing them up, but or he was queuing them up. But either way, again, Viper's going to secure the relics, and he's going to continue to defend nicely. Slam, though, he's not really going all in that Castle Age aggression. He did, in the meantime, also click up to the Imperial Age, and he did it before the Viper. And I actually do fancy Slam's chances here. He definitely has a shot in this one, as he is going to be making more archery ranges behind this, and by the looks of things going into the arbalest. Well, actually, I want to say arbalest, but he could also go into the hand cannons. It could go either way. At the moment, I'd say it's hand cannons actually, because he's not doing any archer techs.
Yeah.
If we look at,
but still, Slam is in a not so good position, right? Because of the gold, he is taking now the gold on the front. But it's so far forward, and if he loses his forward, then that gold is gone as well. And then he's going to be in trouble.
And that's why Slam's playing so aggressive here. That's why Slam's built his buildings in the middle. That's why Slam's trying to drop a castle on Viper's face. And oh, what a great castle position that will be. Viper can't actually... Oh, wait, there's a hole. You're kidding me. There's a hole.
Oh, man.
Slam, that was so unlucky. I feel like Slam just got robbed right there of that castle.
Yeah. That would have been so great.
He has, however, got the monks behind it, and that is going to allow him to get the conversions, and he will, by the looks of things, complete the castle anyway. Great play from Slam with that castle, because it's going to give him the map control he needs, and he can deny the gold from Viper as well. This is really, really nice, as Slam will do chemistry now, and Viper, meanwhile, is going to complete heavy camel. But that chemistry upgrade coming through, those hand cannons hit hard, and this castle is going to be a great platform for Slam to push from. And as you can see, as soon as he did place that castle, he did start moving out to the gold on the front as well. So I do like this from Slam a lot.
Yes, and I'm wondering what the Viper here is gonna do. He would either need a castle for traps, or a chemistry for bombard cannons, or some rams. But so far, I can't really see. Oh wait, never mind. There comes the castle. Okay.
Yes, Slam with the second castle coming up on the left-hand side. That's awesome. It's going to cover this other gold spot. And meanwhile, you know, Slam here, the chemistry upgrade is complete. The hand cannons are going to come out any second now. Or I assume they are anyway. And in the meantime, he's queuing up some trebs as well. Viper doesn't have a castle up yet, and he's going to put the castle up now, but his gold is denied. And Slam has just turned what is a horrible map in the late game to a very nice situation right here.
Right, he really had to take that map control, and if you now look at the Viper's base, he has the one main gold, and that second gold that is just really tricky to take, and that is about it. There's one gold to the left still, but that is also not very nice to take. And yeah, that is gonna be trouble for the Viper, as Slam is now on 2 castles. And yeah, getting the trebuchets out.
And we got some slam gates.
Yeah.
We got some slam gates coming up here to block off the front. I like it. But I would say this, Viper is doing the Imperial Camel upgrade. It's at 50%. And we've seen this situation before where it was Nikov. He just sat back. He waited. Imperial Camel came through, and then it was GG. Because Imperial Camels are insanely strong. And right now I'm really concerned that Slam doesn't have enough military in here. He's just started doing some pikes, and he's completely ignoring the fact that he built 4 ranges and did chemistry. He's not made any hand cannons. He has got monks, and if he can get the conversions, then that's going to be great. But right now I'm worried for Slam, because I don't think he's got the military to deal with the Imperial Camel push that Viper's about to make.
Yeah, it's the military count for Slam is still leading, but that is a mediocre army, as he is still on camels. And
they're coming in. They're coming in. This is going to be the monks have to get the conversions. Like Slam has to micro. He's already got 4. This is amazing. Slam's actually getting a lot of conversions in here. Meanwhile, the monks at the back are going to heal. Meanwhile, Viper is fighting between 2 castles. This could actually be a great defense for Slam right now, as the pikemen are going to come in from the back as well. But those Imperial camels are so strong. Is Viper going to be able to push through here? Capped rams coming in on the right side, and those Imperial camels are still alive. I don't believe how strong they are.
Such a high-British armor.
I can't believe how strong they are. They don't die. They're immortal.
Damn immortals.
Oh my gosh. And meanwhile, the capped rams on the right side going to come through, take out the trebs. And Slam's just fallen apart right there. And I cannot believe just how ridiculous this unit is. It really, truly is crazily good. And Slam's got nothing on the front now.
Yeah, the Viper is still... Well, he still has his... You know, that gold is still not very safe to take. That castle is still on there. And
he's going to take it anyway. He doesn't care. Wow. I mean, he was... Yeah, they don't even have +4 attack. And they're just, like, invincible. They don't die. What is this? Can we bring back the camels as ships, please? At least then the castles might kill them. Something. Give Slam a bone. Toss the man a bone. But, okay, Slam... I think he's done Halbs now, and he can spam Halbs. Villager-wise, Slam is behind by 11 vills, or 12 vills. So a few more vills and the ecos are going to be even. It's just, you know, Slam's lost so much on the front, but it's not all over. I mean, he still have the map control for now, but Viper is about to say, well, goodbye to that, as he's going to start raiding with the Imperial camels, and there's no protection for this economy at the back, because Slam built his castles on the front.
Yeah, a good way, or at least a somewhat decent way for Slam would to be get halberdiers, get more monks. But indeed, those Imperial camels, if they will run into the eco, that is just so tough to deal with. If you don't have any units hanging around, it's even worse.
Well, the fact that they don't die, yeah.
Slam... Two town centers, yeah.
Another Slam gate coming up, and Slam, I think he needs to finish Bodkin Arrow and Bracer here, because... That's the only way his TCs are going to be able to do any damage to these guys. There is eventually going to be a hole, as Viper is finishing up Blast Furnace now. Slam's still pushing forward on the front, though, and, you know, we might end up seeing, like, I don't want to say a base race situation, but Viper's got no defenses left, and Slam's really not defending too well at home either, but he is actually just researching... It says he's researching fletching right now. How is Slam researching fletching when he already has... Oh, of course, he had chemistry, so that was already the +1. So now fletching's coming in for the +2, which he needs. But Slam actually pushing on the front with another castle. It's another castle. Slam is completely still in this game right now.
Well,
I want to say it. I want to say it. I want to believe. Queros, please let me believe.
All right, all right. I mean, he's definitely doing great on the front there, but he got to do the damage.
Yeah, he has to do the damage, you're right. And he can do the damage. He's got a lot of halbs here. He's got a lot of monks. He's got a lot of bombard cannons as well. And Viper's running around the back with some Imperial camels. But they're eventually going to die to the TCs. Whereas Viper's got no siege to follow that through with. Meanwhile, though, Viper on the right side doing mass skirmishes now. I think that's a good sign for Slam, to be honest with you, as he's actually going to deploy his bombard cannons onto Viper's main TC. And Slam denying that gold still. Viper's forced to just make trash.
And that is exactly the problem. No control of the gold anymore. Viper going into light cav, but yeah, versus halberdier and camels, not a great idea or option, I should say. And I have to say, Slam did quite a decent job at defending at home. He has some halberdiers right there, and his eco is almost running again. And villager count, it's still pretty much the same.
Yeah, absolutely. Slam right here is, well, he's behind by 13, which was, you know, a small disadvantage, but still he's way ahead in army. 45 army versus Viper's 27, and he's just taken out the monastery as well. So Viper really has no gold now because he doesn't have the 4 relics either. Now I don't know if Viper completed the Sultan's technology. He did not. Neither player has Sultans, so he wasn't getting additional gold. And look at that. Slam's going to drop a TC on Viper's gold on the front, and Viper can say goodbye. Viper can say goodbye to his stables. It's cheeky, all right.
I mean, what can Viper really do? Yeah, a lot of trash, but that doesn't really help versus Indians, I feel.
I feel like Slam needs to build a monastery right now next to his castle and just grab the relics ASAP, get sultans, and he'll be laughing. He has plenty of access to gold anyway now. He has all the gold, in fact. And I think Slam's done a really excellent job of, I guess, taking the map control. And it just goes to show how valuable that map control can be. Slam now able to afford to do heavy camel. And it looks like he's going to be throwing that mix of heavy camels into there as well, which is just going to be perfect to deal with the skirms and the light cav of the Viper.
Yeah, Viper in a tight situation. He is trying to branch out to left and right side of the map, but that economy is all pretty much open to raiding. And yeah, no decent army or realistic army to deal with this. But still, he still has a few Imperial camels, and he's also getting a few rams right there queued up. So you might want to take a look at ram rushing the castle, but that's going to be real tough with all those halberdiers running around and the bombard cannons.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Viper's struggling here, definitely struggling, but, you know, he's building his eco out to the right, as you said. These farmers, for example, are so exposed, but Slam's so focused on pushing through the middle that he might not even go over there. So Viper's still able to keep that area safe for now. He still has more villagers as well, so he's still got the stronger economy. But Slam now, with the monastery on the front, he should just scoop up these 4 relics real quick. And meanwhile, we've got the defense upgrades coming in for Slam on the camels. He should probably deal with the skirms, which are killing his gold villagers. But yeah, for now, Slam is in such a strong position, and he's going to continue to look to push that advantage here down the middle of Viper's base, splitting him in 2, essentially.
Yeah. And the advantage right here for Slam is that he has a great deal of gold to work with, so he can easily get a nice gold army going, whereas the Viper is, he has to do with trash, or at least the little gold he has, and he has to spend it very wisely. But yeah, that's just so difficult to work with only trash.
Yeah, it's super hard, and you know he's gonna spend a little bit of gold on getting some rams. He's got 6 rams up, cap rams. That's okay. He's obviously utilized the market a little bit. If Slam was really mean, Slam would like sell all of his resources at the market as well, so that Viper can't get them a good value for them even. But it's funny, Slam lost all of his villagers on that gold mine there. And right now, Viper actually has the population advantage, but he just doesn't have the army. If this is where the value becomes really nice. You can see that Viper has 76 army versus Slam's 58. But Slam still has the higher value of his army, and he's got a higher gold percentage as well. So the overlay here giving us a real good insight into the fact that, okay, Viper has a larger military, but Slam has the much more valuable military, and he's going to be able to trade more effectively. With that said, though, Viper's starting to raid now, and sending Imperial camels into Slam's eco. I would not count Viper out, to be honest. I still wouldn't count him out yet.
True, but the huge thing right here is that Slam is going on Imperial Camel himself, and he has quite a bunch of heavy camels. So if he can send those around the map, then pretty much all the army that Viper has should be gone. Skirmishers and a few light cav, and still a few Imperial Camels. But yeah, those won't last very long.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. And Slam's going to be able to just roam around, clean it up, and then I think that might be it for the Viper. It's hard to say because, you know, he's always got some fighting chance. But still, I mean, right now, this doesn't look good, does it? It's just like all these farms, everyone's been displaced, and Viper somehow, you know, still with a population advantage, but it's going to be tough, as you say. That Imperial Camel for Slam has completed, fully upgraded Imperial Camels for Slam now, and he'll be able to deal with the raiding, and he'll be able to start pushing even harder with that unit.
Yeah, looking at how much resources Slam still has banked up, you might even argue that he doesn't necessarily need a big eco. And well, if he can keep his army alive, that's of course the most important part. But yeah, I would say it's a matter of time. And that's really because of the gold.
Yeah, I mean, Viper's eventually going to run out of steam, and you just can't win against a gold army like this with just trash. It just doesn't work. And the Imperial Camels especially are just perfect. They're fast, they've got great armor, they've got pretty decent attack, and you know, pikemen and elite skirms, they're going to be toast. Although Viper is now doing halberdier, but then, you know, it's so easy for Slam to mix in a couple of hand cannons if he likes. I mean, whatever. Even the halbs don't perform that well against the camels, I guess. So Slam, yeah, just kind of rolling over this eco area. Viper's still holding on in there, and Viper still has the population advantage. Slam's actually down to 91 vills here, which is crazy. But yeah, I mean, Slam's now dealt with the raiding, and he can build that back up. So what I'm concerned about is Viper. That's a lot of monks as well.
Yeah, I mean, Slam has a hard time, it seems to has a hard time grabbing his army together, and I can imagine with Viper spreading all over the map and trying to raid everywhere as well. But now it seems like finally most of the raiding is gone, and now if Slam just could do that raiding of his own with the Imperial Camel, either that or start to push on the map, then it should be it.
Yeah, and that is it, as Viper calls GG right there. He knows there's no way back in it now. Slam's just kind of reached that critical point, the tipping point, where Slam is able to just out-tech Viper. And, I mean, at this point, Slam has 5 relics, and he has every gold on the map. You can't contest that, really. But we're ready to go with our final game of the day, Slam versus Viper. It's 1-1 as we go into Viper's home map, Migration. And joining me once again, Major Quaros. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the patience as well.
You're welcome. Glad to be here. As yeah, we are going to watch our last game, this time Migration, Italian mirror match once again. Let's see what these players have for us.
Yeah, Italians. Any surprises there? I think not. At least it's not going to be Italians versus Huns. It's just going to be that Italian mirror. We have Slam to the southwest playing as, obviously, the Italians in the blue. And we have Viper to the northeast in the yellow. The map looks pretty standard. It looks like one of those longer distance rushes Although I would be interested to see if either player does go for that fast feudal aggression, which you can do as the Italians thanks to that cheaper age up cost. But yeah, I mean, Viper's been choosing migration a lot as his home map. I think he's really just been nailing it in terms of his like strats on this map, and it's so far worked out very well for him. He's not lost any migration games so far. In this tournament, he's lost just 2 matches, and I think both of them were on open maps. So far his home map pick, he's unbeaten.
Yes, and somebody in chat asking, like, what about the Vikings? Aren't they any good anymore? And with HD, no, actually not. Not in Feudal Age, as they don't get fire ships. And that is a big, big thing.
Oh yeah, Vikings have like dropped off to scrub tier, pleb tier civ status now, as the Italians are the new kings in town. But yeah, I mean, it's hard to argue with the Italians when you look at all their bonuses, and I feel like we're just repeating ourselves eternally every time. It's like, oh, it's a water map. Oh, it's the Italians. Oh, well, why are the Italians good? Well, let's just repeat ourselves for the 7th time in a row. But you know, it's always for the sake of those people who might be new to the stream or might be new to the game and don't know already. Otherwise, there's not a huge amount to discuss regarding the civs. Regarding strats, though, I mean, we can keep a close eye on the berries, because that can often tell us a large amount about what the plan is. If players mill the berries earlier, they'll likely go for the fast feudal. Otherwise, they'll add the 2nd, possibly 3rd dock, and it's just basically fish boom up very, very hard. Viper here with the gold quite close to his TC is going to block some farms. That's not really going to be a problem until a lot later on. And yeah, I mean, he'll still want to build a mining camp on that, so not a huge deal there. Slam's woodlines are... they're okay, really. I mean, this one is easily attacked from the south, but it's probably going to be fire galleys, so don't have to worry too much about the range of the galleys being a problem. And then I guess we could take a look towards the center, which is... I mean, this is actually quite similar to the migration we saw earlier. It's a little bit more squished, I guess, but the migration we saw earlier was like a big nuclear bomb going off in the middle. This is similar, and all of the resources are up on the top side of the map again, with the rush distance being shortest across the bottom. And I wonder if the players are going to recognize that.
Yeah, I would say in this case, Slam has his dock on the left side and the Viper has his dock on the right side, then the rush distance is going to be quite long. Unless maybe Slam would add some other docks on the right side. But even then, it's longer than we have seen so far.
Yeah, and sometimes you get super long rush distances, sometimes you don't at all. And reading the map and getting some kind of indication of how the map is looking based on your starting position can kind of give it away. We saw that with Viper versus Doubt, even, with Viper doing the fast feudal into Doubt, completely blind, knowing that Doubt was close by. In this case, though, Viper's adding his 2nd dock. That tells us that he will continue to commit to this fishing boom for now. And we'll see Slam add his 2nd dock as well, by the looks of things, a little bit later. Quite a bit later, in fact. Viper is going to start pulling ahead in fishing ships now, I believe.
Yeah, but his dock is still pretty nice. Good amount of deep fish around it. And yeah, like I said earlier, this dock indeed is closer to Viper. But then again, 2 docks, so that means that, we won't really see a super fast feudal.
Yeah, neither player moving over to the berries just yet. Both players getting the deer, of course. And right now, I mean, I'd say Slam was he's going to start to fall behind a little bit, I feel. Interesting, though. Oh, Viper's come over to this lumber camp here. That's kind of interesting. I guess he's very confident that Slam isn't going to make any galleys here, or he's going to win the water at least. But you're right. I mean, he's not going to want to grab the lumber camp on the back because the berries are blocking it.
Yeah, that's a little bit awkward for him.
This is a nice lumber camp, to be honest, because of the concave here. It's going to be really efficient.
If Slam is going to take water control, well, but that is for any woodline, right? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Slam's unlikely to get galleys up in here for a long time, and I think that's a good... For now, the efficiency is absolutely worth it. Viper right here is 34 pop. Slam's 34 pop as well. They're actually completely neck and neck. at this stage, and they've even got like about basically the same amount of resources in the bank. Viper's got 100 extra food actually, so never mind. How does he do it? How does he always end up with more resources? Slam's even built a mill, and he's taking the berries, and Viper still has more resources without doing that. It's crazy.
Yeah, that's Viper hacks, man. I just wanted to say Slam moving out now to the mill, indeed, and Viper getting his third dock up. So dock up. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just Viper things. That's why.
I think the efficiency of the fish, obviously. I mean, he had the fish. He must have had the fish a little bit earlier, and the fishing ships are fishing very efficiently. So it's obviously working out for Viper here. And Slam, meanwhile, yeah, he's adding in his 4th dock right now. He's on the way up to feudal. 40 population for both players. Viper's 10% of the way up faster than 10%. 10% further ahead of Slam, I'm trying to say, going up to the feudal age.
But still pretty close, I would say. 10% is not a lot.
Yeah, right now Viper is 1 vill behind as well, obviously. But, I mean, we were talking about the food. Well, the village account was completely even. So that's kind of not the case of why. But still, Viper now moving over to the mill, and Slam moving away from the mill. It's like you've got 1 foot in, 1 foot out, in, out, shake it all about. Viper going to grab the berries because he's going to be going for the fast castle, of course. And Slam, I don't know, man. How many docks has he got? 1, 2, 3, 4 docks.
Yes.
Viper's on 3. It looks like Slam's going to be more aggressive in the feudal age, whereas Viper's going for the straight up fast castle. But Slam's probably going to be very fast to castle as well, either way. But maybe a bit more commitment to ships right now. Maybe not. I don't know, man.
Doesn't look like it. He's getting a market and blacksmith up. So he's still getting. Oh, right. He's getting fires out right now. So first get the buildings up, then get the fires, and I like that. Maybe he can try to go still up fairly early, but do that he does have fire ships to start to poke the Viper.
Well, Viper did quite a nice thing here. Viper added a lot more fish whilst he was going up to the feudal age, whereas Slam actually stopped his fish production. So as you can see, the difference is that Viper now actually has an additional 5 fish on the water, just because he did an extra bunch of ships while he was advancing to the feudal age. Because when they clicked up to feudal, their populations were absolutely even. Slam will get the first fire galleys out, though. And meanwhile, on the middle of the map, Slam hasn't found any sheep. Viper has. He's already getting scouting info of the center of the map. And both players now committing to the fire galleys. And Viper knows already, actually, where Slam is. He's already scouted a dock there. I don't know if he used a fishing ship to do that. I'm guessing he did. Absolutely worth it. He's going to send his fire galleys the right way around.
Yeah, and Slam is up a little bit earlier to Castle Age. Are they gonna go right past each other both ways? No. The Viper now does scout the Slam right there. 1 ship did get away, so maybe he can snipe a fishing ship.
Yeah, maybe he could come through, but
still pretty close.
He might find 1. He'd have to suicide the fire galley to get it. You could argue that's worth it, but he's actually going to back away. And Viper here going to put up a more than adequate defense. 4 fire ships already here to defend this. Meanwhile, I mean, something that Viper does seem to do a lot on this map is get his scout, get a couple of vills. It's always 2 vills and a scout, or sometimes 3. And send them to the middle, like, as soon as possible. Well, not as soon as possible, otherwise he'd build it in the Dark Age, but, I mean, as soon as he's, like, advancing to castle, he'll get those units across. Like, build a monastery, build a second town center, and start grabbing relics, start taking center map control. And you do see Viper doing that a lot. You also see him building the forward docks as well. And talk about the fish efficiency. This forward dock's going to help with that, and also help with the reinforcement time. But Slam, as you said, faster to castle, faster to get war galley, and maybe faster to push Viper back. We'll see.
Yes, and he did push, or Slam did get 2 fire galleys to the top of the map, and he did snipe one fire galley from Viper. So now he has 2 fire ships right there, and
versus 1.
Yeah, he could snipe some more fishing ship.
I think he will, in fact, get more fishing ships here. It does look like it's going that way, as Viper's going to lose the fire galley. He's actually not got any army in position at all, so these fish are forced to sail away. I was going to say run away, but they're not running anywhere. Meanwhile, Slam's coming in. He's already got fire ship done. Yes. Viper will be doing the fire ships himself in a moment, but Slam's going to have a small advantage going into this. However, that's not a numbers advantage. That is a tech advantage. And Viper will take the lead in that fight and convincingly win.
Great.
Yeah. Terrible demolition ship from Slam.
Yeah, he did only get one. But still, the fire ships are right there, so you can still snipe a few fishing ships.
And still, yeah, Slam is in the north killing the fish, as I was about to say. So Viper going to get the advantage in the south. Slam's going to have to put up a defense here, whereas Slam is up in the north killing the fish out here. So it's kind of like a bit of a trade on either side. And Slam starts to add some war galleys in now. Interesting decision, but I think he wants to have a good mix so he can deal with the demolition ships a little better. As Slam's going to bring another demolition ship in. He could get a good shot, take down 2. Very nicely done. That's a good trade. And Slam will defend. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. And he's equalized the ship count. 16 ships for both, 16 fish for both Slam and Viper here, with Slam taking the advantage in the military count as well. So Slam's at a good point in this game right here.
Yeah, he has the water control, but now the thing is, Viper is already on the middle, and he's getting a siege workshop there. He has already picked up one relic, so Viper kind of, or almost trading the water for the middle land, but I wouldn't necessarily say that, as he still has a little bit of presence on the water, but he will have to work still to get back the water control if he wanted to.
Yeah, and he's got to be careful as well, Slam that is, because he is adding a few too many war galleys in without the support of the fire ships. He's really got to be careful not to just let the war galleys die. Let the fire ships fight on the front, let the war galleys sit behind. But, you know, if Viper's going to outnumber him with fire ships, then Viper's just going to be able to push it right back again. And I think Slam's got to be very careful about taking good engagements on the water now he's got this lead. Well, now he had that lead. Viper's going to add another dock on this right side. And the interesting thing is the siege workshop, though. That's for sure. I mean, what's the plan with the siege workshop here? It must be a second Castle Age unit. And just for those of you in the chat, the spectator overlay tech thing has crashed again. So I didn't notice Viper was going imp, but he's actually going imp right now. 33%. Slam's on 14%. So Viper a little bit faster to imp here. And Slam's going to lose a Vil on the mainland, which is kind of unfortunate.
When I was saying like the siege workshop is going up, I was already wondering what that was all about. But for now, Viper really nice map control so far on the middle, as he is getting a TC right there. Not the best TC, as he is not securing any gold or stone, but still it's really nice there on the hill.
Yeah, meanwhile, Viper making a monk, and that's going to get sniped by Slam's scout. Nicely done, as both players are kind of standing off at the moment, neither of them going in, with both of them getting the Imperial Age tech right now. They don't want to really overcommit to a fight and lose too many units, but I mean, Viper will take this fight, absolutely, any day of the week. There's too many war galleys here, and I think Viper should just stay in, bring the demos in, and he could take that quite easily as Slam retreats. And that demolition ship, oh, not a bad shot, getting splash damage onto 4, as yeah, Slam is going to now fall back on the water. The TC, like you said, going up in the middle as well, but it's miles away from any of the gold that Viper wants to secure later on. And for now, I mean, it's very, very close. Both players on like 70 pop, both players with roughly the same amount of army, both with the same amount of fish. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It still can go either way, and what I like about Slam is that he is on the right side of the island. He's getting a barracks up right there, also a new dock on that side, and that is pretty nice. Then he doesn't actually have the resources for a town center, but still he has the presence on that side of the island.
Well, I mean, Slam could spend resources on making a TC, or he could invest those resources. Oh, that was a huge demo shot by Viper there, actually. That was really nice. That was exactly what he needed to do. But as I say, he could also, instead of doing that, invest more resources onto the water. But Slam's too slow with the Imperial Age upgrade, and Viper will get fast fires. And with a really nice demolition shot, that's going to be Slam having to fall back once again. But is Slam going to go for the condos here? That could be cool. Make a mass condos in the middle, start raiding Viper, similar to what Viper did the other day on migration as well.
I think for now Slam has other things to worry about. He is on fast fires as well, so he is mirroring Viper quite nicely. But yeah, that fight he took earlier with the demo shot, that was a pretty tough one. And Viper getting another good demo shot, man.
Oh, I missed that one, but yeah, Slam's going to come in with a demo at the back as well. Maybe he can do something with this, but it's nice because every time Viper sees the demolition ship, look how he splits his army to try and avoid it. But he's going to have to go back here anyway because he is now outnumbered. But overall, he does have the advantage on the water. He does have 20 ships versus Slam's 15. And Slam is kind of starting to fall behind now. Like, Viper's got ahead in Vils, and that's going to be a little worrying for Slam.
Yeah, population count, Slam is quite behind indeed. And I saw him getting block printing out as well. And with the 2 monasteries on the mainland, I wonder what he wants to do with that.
Ah, that's pretty interesting. I didn't see block printing because the overlays crashed. But meanwhile, Viper adding 2 barracks into the middle of the map. And I almost feel like we're going to see a repeat of the game between these 2 guys yesterday on migration as well. Yeah, probably going to see some condos coming out for Viper here. He has got a lot of food and a lot of gold in the bank. And what better to use that on than condos? Why not?
Yeah, definitely a really nice, strong unit to use with the Italians. And Slam is struggling a bit with the resources, it seems. Well, or at least he's pretty low on resources.
Yeah, it does look that way. He doesn't seem to have anywhere near as much eco at this point. Even though the villager count isn't that different, Viper with just 10 additional villagers. But he's had that advantage for some time, and I do worry for Slam now. The condos are coming out at 2 at a time, with the 3rd barracks coming up. And of course, Slam does have a couple of monks, but he could get cleaned up very quickly here by just a few of these guys. They're very quick.
Yeah, 3 monks isn't going to cut it. And also a mangonel for the Viper, so map control definitely in favor of the Viper. And Slam will need to respond either way, as he can't really take fights on the water, and he's also trying to retain the middle, so it's a really complicated map to play at this point.
Oh yeah, and he's just been denied his TC. That's Slam over here. There's 3 villagers that have died out here now. 2 died to a wolf, and then 1 just died to a mangonel shot. Viper, the condos are coming through, and Slam's got 4 monks, so if you can get the conversions, great. But if Viper has like over 8 condos here, I think he'll be fine. And meanwhile, he's bringing the Vils in to kill the TC. Look at this. The TC is going to go down, and Slam's not going to delete it. So that's going to be resources lost. I've got to say, though, don't the condos have like the most smooth animations out of any unit in the game?
I know, right?
They're like ridiculously smooth. How are they that smooth? I don't get it. Can't we make all the units this good? I mean, that would be nice. But yeah, basically Slam's going to get cleaned up, and Viper's just going to overwhelm him here.
And the problem is that he is losing quite badly on the water now as well, with some more good demo shots from the Viper coming in, killing 4 fire ships. That's just such a nice value. And now, yeah, pretty much anything that Slam had is going to go away now. Taken from him.
Absolutely. I feel like Viper could just start doing galleys right now. Now he's got the water control. Viper could just add galleons, start killing everything from the shoreline, prevent Slam from getting over to the middle, and Slam wasn't able to get a foothold on the middle of the map either in the end. So ultimately, Viper will take the win in game number 3, taking the series 2-1, which isn't so bad at all. You know, he's not invincible. He has lost a couple of games so far this tournament, and people keeping him humble, keeping him competitive, that's for sure.
Yeah, well played for Slam, taking that one game from the Viper. Also, he did keep up until Imperial Age, and that's from there he started to fall apart.
Yeah, exactly. I think that Imperial play from Viper is starting to get maybe a little bit too repetitive now, though. If players are watching his recorded games, if players are paying close attention, they're going to realize that, okay, Viper's doing this strat nearly every time. He's going Italians, he's landing the middle early, he's grabbing a couple of relics, he's building forward docks, and he's making Contra-Terror. So how do you deal with that? And I think that's then it might become very predictable and players might end up starting to adapt to that strat. But maybe, this is the Viper, this is one strat. And as soon as someone starts like thinking ahead and predicting what he's going to do, he'll just change to something else, probably. That's what I'm guessing anyway. But there you go. That's 2-1 to Viper in there. And that's all of our matches for today complete.